Hey Scooter Pies, it's Miss Susanna, and I'm back to do some more handwriting with all of you little friends. So let's get our pencils. I got one of these little pencils just like yours. We've got our birdie beak going. We are ready to write. Now today we are going to be on page 56. That's 5, 6, 5, 6. Okay, let's double check it. Right here, 56, 5, 6. And we're going to be working on lowercase m, okay? Like M, monkey, or mouse, or Max. Our friend Max's name begins with M, or Mila, Mila also begins with M. So I noticed something as I was looking at the letters we've been working on. We were just doing lowercase r, where our helpful friend here taught us to dive down and then swim over the top, and that's a lowercase r. Dive down, swim over the top, right? Then we moved on to lowercase n, nest, or Naya, or Nicholas. Okay, so just like an r, we dive down, we swim over the top, but for an n, we dive down again. So R is just dive down and swim over the top. Then you have your R. N, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down again. Then you have your N. But for M, we are going to dive down. We're going to swim over the top. We're going to dive down again, swim again, and dive down again. So it's got some of the same action as our other letters, but it's got even more, okay? So let's start with a little tracing. Right here, we're going to dive down, swim over the top, and dive down again, okay? Get your little birdie beak pencil ready. Going to dive down, swim over the top, and dive down again. And that's kind of like the first half of our M is pretty much a lowercase n, isn't it? But we're not done, are we? So we dive down, we swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, dive down again. Then we're going to come back up and swim over the top again. Oh, my stars above, and we're almost done. What's the last part? It's another dive down, exactly. So starting at the beginning of our letter, we're going to dive down, come on back up, swim over the top, and dive again. Come on back up and swim over the top and dive again. Yeah, and you're done. That's an M. So let's count how many dives we do. We do 1 dive, swim over the top, 2 dives, swim over the top, and 3 dives. Okay, that's M. So now that we've worked on tracing it a little bit, let's trace it and write it. Okay, so down here, as usual, we have a little start on the dot section just after we have our tracing parts, okay? So we're going to dive down with our little M. Come on back up, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down. The end. Start at the dot, dive down, swim over the top, dive, swim, dive. That's an M. See, mine doesn't look completely perfect. That's okay. Remember, we're not perfect. We're just practicing. Not perfect, just practicing. Okay, next one. We're going to trace it and then write it. Dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, dive down. Great job. So that was a trace. Let's write it. We're going to start on the dot. Dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down. Great. That's our second M. Now, just to review, is M a tall letter? Does it come way up? No. Is it a fall letter? Does it have a big monkey tail? No, it's a small letter. It stays nicely tucked in right between those lines, right? So let's keep going. Got another one to trace. You ready? We're going to dive down. We're going to swim over the top and dive down and swim over the top and dive down. Good job. So we traced it. Let's write it. Start at the dot and we dive down. Come on back up. Swim over the top and dive down. Come on back up, swim over the top and dive down. Good job. I'm going to trace it again. Dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, dive down. And that's your M. Whoops. It's kind of too shiny to see it. So we trace it. Let's write it. Start at the dot. Dive down. Come on back up and swim over the top and dive down. Come on back up, swim over the top and dive down. Great. Good job. Last trace. We're going to dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down. All right, that was our last trace. Now we're going to write it one more time. We don't have a dot. We're flying on our own, swimming on our own, right? Dive down. Come on back up, swim over the top, and dive down. Come on back up and swim over the top and dive down again. There we go. Great job. Oh, and on the bottom they say M is for map. Map. Do you see that? It shows us where a bunch of countries are. Actually, continents is more like it. It shows us all of the continents of the world. Continent is a huge amount of land where a lot of countries are next to each other. Okay, so just like always, if you don't have your orange book, and if you want your orange book, they should be in packets waiting for you outside the school. So you and your grown-up, or just your grown-up, can go to the school and pick up your packets that should include your orange handwriting notebook. But we also, if you don't have that notebook, you can certainly practice on some plain paper, okay? And if your paper has lines, you could use these lines to make sure that your M's are all kind of staying the same size and shape, okay? We want to get better at really controlling the size and shape of our letters, okay? So we're going to dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down. And that's an M. Do a few more. Dive, swim, dive. Good job. Now, if I wanted to use these bigger lines instead, make a bigger M. Dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, dive down. That's an option. Dive down, swim, dive down, swim, dive down. All right. If you don't have any lines on your paper, you can use blank. You can use a blank part and you can make some lines just like always. Grown-ups could be super helpful with this. Okay, so I have some lines here and I'm going to work on making sure the size and shape of my M's fit in these lines, okay? I'm going to dive down, swim over the top, dive down, swim over the top, and dive down. Good job. Dive, swim, dive. Great. That's a lowercase m. Okay, my friends? Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your work. Keep working on your letters. Keep working on your pictures. Keep getting outside to enjoy this beautiful sunshine. We all miss you so much. All of your teachers really, really miss you. We hope you're doing really well. And I love seeing all your little faces on Zoom. Can't wait to see you again soon. Okay, kiddos? Mwah! Bye-bye.